This is Chef Shelley at the Sweet Spot Urban Lounge. I know this is a different view than what you usually see, so before we get started, let me explain what happened. I was here Sunday carrying some stuff in, took a little tumble. Okay, so I guess my computer's going to do it too. Took a little tumble, twisted up my knee. So I'm sitting down and I have you on my cart. Don't worry, I'm fine. I have, bad knees anyway. So you're looking at my storeroom now instead of my ovens because I'm sitting down. So what I wanted to talk about was the videos, and I'm trying to get myself so that I'm more in the center here. My videos that I did last night. My intention was to show you something that happens, and why you don't store your jars with the rings still on them. And I had one that it happened to. I had a couple of them. One of them was some green beans I had canned. That this whole part was white with mold. Now my husband washed the jar. So this one you can see. I don't know if you can see, but in there is a spot of mold on a green bean because this was a false seal. And I mean that in that you can push the top up and down. You don't hear the noise that it makes. And so you would think it was sealed. But I had left all the rings on because I took them from the shop to my house and I put them in the cabinet. Well, in all the jarring of jelly making, I had run out of rings. The place I usually get them from was out of rings. And I said, well, I'll just take the rings off the ones that I have at the house. Well, a couple of jars, when I took the rings off, the lids also came off at the same time. Now, see, it worked today. It didn't work last night. Same jar. But that's because when I brought it in during in the heat, so it had resealed itself. So you don't want to say, well, I'll just wait and watch it reseal. That may not happen. So I guess I've had a total of 3 jars, but now all the rings are off. And you could tell that what happened during the pressure canning process, I don't know if you can see this, that the lid actually got bent and the glue was affected. So this is going to give you a false seal. So if you see this in your jars when you take the ring off and you see how the glue went down, I don't know where's a good way to show you this. But you might want to put those in the refrigerator and eat those immediately. Okay, so that's something, learning something. And, do as I say, not as I do. Don't store it with the rings on. I know some people who do. And, you don't want to find out a week later that your lid did not seal, because then you have to throw it away. I would not go back and eat it and say, well, I had another jar sitting on top of it, so that sealed it. Bacteria, they're very small little guys and girls, I guess. Are there guys and girls bacteria? I don't even know. So last night I also talked about the first time I ever double stacked my pressure canner because I had a lot of jars and I didn't want to be here for a long time. So I showed where I pressure canned some eggplant curry that we had. And when I was taking this out, I lost about 3 with this as well because one of them I had overfilled. And when you're filling it, sometimes it happens like that. But before you put the seal on, scoop some out and put it in another jar. I didn't. I forgot. I put the seal on. So last night's video, when I'm taking them out of the pot, I show you that basically the lid was off and the contents were coming out of the jar. So that was the jar that I had overfilled. A couple of the others, I think when you put your lids on, you want to finger tight. I think I just put the lids on and kind of twisted them a little bit because I noticed last night when I was doing some jalapenos, it took a while for me to get the rings on the jars. So it's make sure that your rings are tight, finger tight. And so I did lose a couple because the rings came off. But out of 20 jars, I lost 3. Then, while I was taking out my eggplant curry, I was also taking out this. And I kept saying, okay, this one's good. Okay, this one's good. And then it dawned on me why they look different. I forgot. I had 4 jars of eggplant caponata in at the same time as the curry. So they are supposed to look different because one's curry, and one's eggplant caponata. That's what you do when people give you eggplant. You make stuff. So last night I pickled Brussels sprouts. So that was done. Cut in half. Add the brine. Water bath. Then when you have food friends, you know, you have those, what was I calling it a little while ago? Oh, it's like food people in common. You know, and somebody gives you a whole case of jalapenos. Thank you, Florence. Um, you have to figure out something to do with it. And people ask me all the time, how is it that I can that I have so much variety? Because I don't want to take one case and make the same thing that, you know, out of the one case. So I have pickled some jalapenos. These are sliced and pickles. So you can put those on your sandwiches or wherever you like your pickled jalapenos. I have some whole ones, which I then had to, you can't get too many whole ones. These are pretty good size ones. So then I cut some little strips and stuff. And the whole ones still have the seeds and stuff in it. So these puppies will be super hot. The slices that I did, you don't see many seeds in them. There are a few, but not a whole lot. And that's because when I shredded them, this is pretty good. I could just sit here all day and get a lot of work done. So I shredded them in this container. And you see all the seeds in this container? I had gloves on. So then you take, and I put them in a bowl. So I put them in a bowl. And then with my hands, and they're not going to behave, with my hands and my gloves on, I just kept swooshing them. And the seeds were falling out. And then I would take a handful and put them in the jar. So now I'm going to go plant these at my house. And I will grow jalapeno peppers. See, free seeds. Yay! So today, that's what I wanted to come on and talk about those videos. I don't know. I'm on my computer right now. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Usually I do my lives on my phone. Um, it could be because Facebook had changed to some streaming something. So even doing it on my computer is different than it was before. And I'll figure out the phone thing because for me it's easier to put my phone on the stand and talk. So we will figure out what we're doing. But I just wanted to let you know that's what was going on. I'm gonna I'm working on a list. I'm working on my website. I'm working on a lot of things right now, and then I will post. We will talk about freezer jam, refrigerator jam, instant jam, and other things that you can make with the stuff that you're canning, and try to get people who want to do pressure canning. Alrighty. So we'll talk to you later. Later. I have 2 cases of peaches to peel. That's going to be a fun video. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.